Hi my YouTube familia, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mila. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful, and if you are returning, thank you so much for being back here. I missed you guys. We have a good one today, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so you know it's gonna be a special one. If your girl got like super ready, I went all out for you tonight. And I have seen a couple of other creators do this video, and it's really what inspired me today to film this and bring it to my channel, because I was reflecting on all of the different ways that YouTube has changed my life. Being currently a small YouTuber, right, part of the small YouTuber community, I was like, you know what, YouTube has changed my life in more ways than one, all for the positive. I want to share a bit of my journey. Hopefully it can inspire you, motivate you, it can make you believe in yourself again, and a lot of different things. I don't want to give too much away, so let's go ahead and take it back to the beginning, which is not too far, but I started my YouTube channel back in 2016 is when I made the account. And granted, I remember that I used to use YouTube basically for just listening to music, watching music videos, hair tutorials, makeup, you know, basic girl stuff, I feel. But even from back then, I had this desire that I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I was still very, very shy, and I had no idea how to go about it, what I wanted to say, what I wanted, let alone my niche to be, right? But it wasn't until 2019 that I remember the day my husband was actually out of town, and I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. No one can hear me, no one can see me, you know, if it flops, whatever. And I grabbed a bunch of books and I put them on my bed. I got like this little tiny Amazon tripod. I used my iPhone, I don't know, 6 maybe, yeah, I think so. And I decided to film my YouTube debut, and you're more than welcome to scroll all the way back to that video and check it out. And I remember telling myself, enough is enough. We've been putting this off for way too long, and if I don't start now, I'm never gonna start. So I filmed my YouTube debut, and so much has happened from 2019, fast forward to now, 2024. There are so many things that I could share with you guys. And honestly, a couple of years ago, I did go through my very first videos, kind of reminiscing and reflecting, and I wanted to delete all of them because at the time I just felt really upset and kind of down on myself as far as the little bit of growth that I had had on YouTube. I wasn't getting the reactions and the subscriptions and all this stuff that I had hoped I would get at that point. But I know that each and every single one of those videos made me better, and I also know the amount of courage that it took me each and every time, even today as I'm talking to you, the courage that it takes to sit in front of the camera, to be yourself, expose yourself, and put a little piece of you out there into the world, hoping that someone out there resonates with it and you feel a little bit less lonely, or you're able to make a positive impact, and just all the different reasons someone, you know, might create a YouTube channel or put themselves out there in these situations. Also, for me personally, YouTube has been a bit of a diary. Like, if I go back to some of my very first videos, I can definitely see not only my personal growth, but different versions of Mila, and I love that. And all the different versions of Mila are gonna live on this channel forever. YouTube to me is one of those platforms where you truly have nothing to lose. That's the way that I see it. And especially if it's your dream, as it is mine, to be on this platform and to continue to grow on it in so many different areas of life. I know a lot of people that have started their YouTube channel specifically for the monetary basically benefits that they can get out of it, I guess long term, or if their channel blows up or things like that. However, I genuinely feel like out of all the different social media platforms, especially now, YouTube is one of those things where the more genuine it is, the more people can feel your realness through your video, the more you that you are versus trying to fit in or do trends and all this other stuff, the better your channel is going to be, and just the more genuine your community is going to be on here. So honestly, for me, YouTube is a win-win. Alright, let's go ahead and discuss how YouTube has changed my life with less than 500 subscribers. Reason number one, and I think one of my favorite reasons that we're going to discuss today, is going to be that I can be myself. And I know that seems pretty cliche. What do you mean be yourself? Aren't you always yourself? Don't you always show up as yourself? Yeah. As an aspiring content creator, throughout the years, many times I've felt myself falling into the comparison game. It's something I've talked a lot about here on my YouTube with you. Also feeling this need to fit in with all the other content creators, or like I said, do things that are trending that maybe don't even align with me. And if you've seen me ever do something that's trending, you can tell right away that it's not me. Like, I will forever suck at TikTok dances. It's just not me. I don't have the coordination, you guys. But YouTube has always been one of those places where I genuinely feel accepted and like I can show up as myself. And in a world where there's so many labels and categories and things people sometimes feel they have to do to fit in or to be a part of, I'm just really happy that I can come on this platform and I can be myself and I can be seen. So that's reason number one. Reason number two on how YouTube has changed my life is that it has taught me to believe in myself. And I don't want to get too emotional on you, but it's really true. I more than welcome you to go back and watch my cringy YouTube debut video back in 2019 and then see this person now before you. It's absolutely crazy because confidence and self-belief is something that I have really struggled with when it comes to my content creating journey, and it's important. It's like so foundational for you to believe in yourself, believe in what you're putting out there and what you have to share. And the more and more that I would do YouTube videos, regardless of the amount of views that I would get or interactions, comments, anything like that, I felt better each time. I felt like, okay, I can do this. I'm someone that can commit to it and I can put myself out there, and even if I don't get the result that I want, I'm gonna keep doing it. And it's like basically laying bricks. So definitely believing in myself is one of the biggest ways that YouTube has changed my life. Going into the third reason on how YouTube has changed my life, it kind of ties in with the last one, but it has elevated my confidence. So I'm sure you guys have heard the saying, fake it till you make it. It's a real thing, and for a long time I was in denial. I was like, no, like I got this, I'm doing it. But realistically, I was not killing it. My confidence has improved each time that like I said, I do a video, I write a script. It can be pretty intimidating, like I said, to put yourself out there, but slowly but surely, you start finding other people around the world on the internet that connect with you, that leave you comments, that are inspired by something that you said, that give you good feedback. I've gotten so much great feedback across these years on my channel on how to improve and just open back up. So I'm super thankful for that. And honestly, that is another reason that you want to stay genuine, because if you start out kind of pretending to be someone that you're not, people are going to see through that. And I think that goes across all platforms, not just YouTube. The fourth reason on how YouTube has changed my life is going to be creativity. And believe it or not, this one is really important for all creators, aspiring content creators in general. I think just as a human being on this planet, most of us live in routines. I have a 9 to 5. I wake up, I do the same thing basically every day. Sometimes I even have the same breakfast. I know I got to switch it up. But yeah, most of us are creatures of habit, and we build these habits, and sometimes some of us, I won't say any names, don't like to break our routine, and we're very much so kind of like in these blocks and calendars and events and commitments and all these things. But YouTube each week, I kid you not, racks my brain trying to say, all right, what should I bring next to my community? What is going to motivate them? What is going to push them out of their comfort zone, right? Something we talk a lot about here. What is going to be interesting? What is going to be new? And I think that's just something that we really need in our day-to-day lives. If you don't have something that challenges you in that way, it doesn't have to be social media, it doesn't have to be YouTube, but in this case, I think that YouTube is just really amazing because, like I said, this video was actually inspired by a lot of other creators that I've seen, and I've watched their videos, and I was like, you know what? That's so crazy, because I have my own ways that YouTube has changed my life, and I can share my journey. So you get inspired, and it forces you to think outside of the box and bring your own spin on things and your own spin on your videos. So creativity is, I think, super important, especially as we get older, because it tends to sometimes get a little bit harder at times, like hit these mental creative roadblocks and you're like, all right, I kind of already did that. What can I do different, you know? So what do you have to lose? If you've always wanted to start a YouTube channel, or if you have one and you've been slacking on it for whatever reason, try to answer that question for yourself. What do you have to lose? Because in my opinion, we have everything to gain. So take this as your sign to start or to try again, but this time for all the right reasons. If there's something that I hope you know I preach on this channel, is that it's never too late. In fact, my last video was about that, but in general, you can see that same theme across my videos. It's never too late to start again. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to start believing in yourself, to switch it up, to reinvent yourself. Seriously, this idea that tormented me for so long of like, well, this is it, you know, I failed. I can't go back to school. I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, that's it. But it's like, why? Why put all of these mental restrictions? Honestly, they're mental. Unless you're trying to do something where they're like, you have to be 35 and you're like 37. Well, that's different. You know, we're not talking about that type of stuff. But other than that, it's really just ourselves most of the time holding ourselves back. So if that's you, I'm telling you now, as your big sister on YouTube, cut it out. It's not going to get you anywhere. And before I wrap this video up, I just want to share a couple of tips that have helped me on my YouTube journey, and I hope that they can help you or inspire you, or like I said, just help you kind of get those creative juices flowing. First and foremost, don't put off starting because you don't have a niche. And don't come at me in the comments because of this, but honestly, at the beginning, and sometimes I feel still now, I don't have like a specific niche. And there's all these videos that if you want to be successful on YouTube, you got to niche down and you got to do this and that, and you got to make sure you're consistent with the niche and all these things. If the only reason that you haven't started your YouTube channel is because you don't have a niche, then something is wrong in that equation. Start putting videos out there. What I have found in my journey is that each time that I sat down and did a video, it got me closer and closer to the niche that I wanted to be in, if we can call it that, right? I consider myself to be in the self-improvement, mental health, self-growth, dash of entrepreneurialism niche, because those are things that I'm really passionate about, just growing as a person, growing mentally, spiritually, and as a creator in general. So I tie those things together. I've kind of invented my own little niche. There isn't a specific niche that I guess you could say I fit in. So if that's the only reason you haven't started, then start uploading. Trust me, you're gonna see the things that you enjoy doing, because I also had a time in my journey where I was doing videos, but they were so forced because I was trying to fit into this niche. And to be honest, I think it was like the fitness video niche. Although I am, like I said, a personal trainer as well. I love fitness. That's not what I wanted my YouTube to be about. That's not what I wanted my YouTube personality to be, basically. So start, and along the way, you're gonna just figure out what niche you wanna be in, or just how you wanna show up, basically. Tip number 2 that I wish I knew sooner in my YouTube journey is going to be that you don't need the super aesthetic background to start YouTube. And I know that one might be like a no-brainer, but seriously, I'm just sharing things that held me back and that basically I wish I had known sooner. I used to feel like if I didn't have this whole studio set up and the best camera and the best audio and all these things, that I couldn't put content out there. But you have people all over the world, not just on YouTube, but on other social media platforms, already monetizing because they just decided to start with what they had. Whether that's a small little ring light from Amazon and an old iPhone or whatever, they started, and I promise you they are 1,000 times better for it. I wish that I had learned that sooner. My husband, I give him credit, he did try to tell me so many times, but I just felt like I had to be this person. I had to have, you know, remember when the green walls in the back were like super popular? I know my girls remember those walls, or in general, you know, that had like the flowers and stuff. And I was like, I need one of those walls. I need one of those backdrops. I need the little lights. And granted, although I'm super thankful for this studio setup that my husband and I share, it's not everything. It doesn't make you. What really matters is the value and, again, like what you bring to the table for your viewers, for your audience, for your community. Okay, if you're still with me, I got tip number 3 for you. I got stuck there. I was like, okay. Tip number 3 is going to be to make a schedule and stick to it. And trust me, I am preaching to the choir. I promise you sometime very, very soon, okay? Mark my words on this video. I'm gonna have a set upload schedule, which means that I need to be disciplined about the days that I film. Why is this so important? Especially if you're starting out, this is so crucial, because you have 1,001 reasons why not to do YouTube, why not to sit down and do a video, because you have homework, because you have work, house responsibilities, you're tired. Trust me, humans, we're so good at making all the excuses. We really are. You need to make a schedule that you can stick to. And I think that so many times I've overwhelmed myself, trying to say that I want to do 3 uploads a week realistically, when I only have the time, let's say, or I only make the time currently to write 1 script. That's a lot, right? So you have to make a schedule that works for you, that you can stick to, that's realistic. And the thing about consistency is, imagine like your favorite TV show, right? You know that a new episode drops every Tuesday. What if you didn't even know when an episode was dropping? It's kind of like that. Like, your audience, your community, they deserve for you to be consistent and to show up and be committed and disciplined. And just like you want the views and the likes and all this stuff, then you also have to be putting in the work and showing up. And like I said, it's something that I have struggled with, but this is the year. This is the year. There's about 129 days or so, give or take, left of the year. So we don't have to wait until next year, the New Year goals and New Year's resolutions to start, okay? You can start now. If you stay accountable, I'm gonna stay accountable, so we can do it together. All right, tip number 4 that I wish I had known sooner for my YouTube journey is gonna be, believe it or not, to get better at thumbnails and search engine optimization, better known as SEO and hashtags. Why? I honestly, not to hype myself up, but I genuinely feel like I have some really great videos. I have some videos that can really help you look within and can help you think outside of the box or push you a little bit out of your comfort zone. But perhaps because I don't know all of the best SEO practices, hashtags, or I don't have like the most enticing thumbnail or like the clickbait title, right? All of these things, they really go a long way. And it's something that I'm still working on. It doesn't mean you have to be a genius or perhaps even pay someone to do it, but I think that it's worth, as aspiring content creators, YouTubers, right? Whatever the case may be, to learn and put into practice more and more, trial and error, right? Of these things, because it's part of your craft. It's something that we have to get good at. Things are always changing. You try to beat the algorithm, but somehow the algorithm is like one step ahead. So whatever. That's something that I wish I'd gotten better at. And now I'm trying to keep my thumbnails consistent and clean and going for a certain vibe, right? But realistically, I feel like I'm not there yet, like where I want them to be. It could be a lot of things. It could be the picture you choose. It could be the title that makes someone scrolling on YouTube click on your video versus the one under it. And the one under it, like I said, it could be mine. It could be amazing. It could be so insightful and educational, informative, all these things. But because you didn't make a good title and thumbnail, you don't get enough views, and then it doesn't get pushed out there in front of more people and more screens to say that they love it and that it helped them and all this stuff. And it kind of sucks that sometimes it does come down to that. Then again, I've seen people that have the most random thumbnails and titles, and I click on it, and at the end of the day, it was a great 5-6 minute video. So yeah, that's just something that I feel is important, because if you have these great videos but you don't know how to properly market them or put them out there, then they're not gonna get as much reach as they could get. All right, thank you for sticking to this part of the video, because I feel like this is the best part, the ending, right? The wrap up. My last tip that I wish I had just held on to a bit more dearly. And these words are going to be something that you've probably heard before from other people, but I just really want them to hit home, is going to be to not give up. Like I said, if you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to start your content creating journey, or perhaps your small business or something else, you can apply it to whatever you'd like. Don't give up. And every time that I make a video, trust me, I write these things down as well because they're therapeutic and I need to hear them. So I'm not just telling you, but don't give up. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. If you feel like you're misaligned as far as what you've been trying to do and who you're trying to show up as, then just, reel it back in and readjust, reflect, reinvent yourself, like I said. But not giving up is like the number one thing that you'll see across the board for people that are successful. And however you measure success, whether that's financial or how much they've given back or who they are, if they're on the Forbes list, whatever the case may be, they always all come down to that. They said they had this one defining moment where they were right there and they could have given up. They could have thrown in the towel. They could have been like, I'm done. I don't see no fruit from my labor. I don't see a big change happening. But they decided to go the extra mile. The next day, they were right there. They were trying again. And that's the point that I'm at in my journey. Like I said, I started this channel back in 2019. And there's been many times where I've wanted to just throw in the towel and I just don't see progress. And I feel like people are not connecting and all these things. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. Who's to say it is or it isn't, right? I guess only time will tell, but you just have to have that fire in you to say, I'm not gonna give up. And if it's not for you, then let's make it for you. Well, maybe that was a little bit too aggressive, but I know that you understand what I'm saying. Realistically, there's even athletes that said that they sucked their first couple of years and now they're freaking Olympic gold medalists. Imagine if they had just been like, well, I suck. I didn't get picked for the team at tryouts and given up. They never would have known how amazing they could be. And YouTube is a lot about showing up, honing your skills, getting better and better and better. So that has been a bit of my experience. That has been different ways as to how YouTube has changed my life, literally with less than 500 subscribers. I'm really excited to see how far this journey goes, how many more people we can connect with. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting. All of it helps this channel grow. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the comments. So it's been a good one. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.